Hey everyone, welcome back to Aaron Limitless Gaming. If this is your first time, welcome. If you have watched me before in my channel, welcome back. Before we get started, I would appreciate it if you guys subscribed and liked what you saw. Comment down below on what else you want to see as far as gaming videos, as well as check out my regular channel if this isn't posted on it, to see other content like vlogs, travel, home decor, and just kind of tech reviews and a little bit of everything of my interest. But let's get started. So today we are picking back up with part 8 of 22. This is actually the home theater of the Sims 4 Modern Mansion build. So right now, as you can see, I am kind of doing essentially all of the basic stuff like flooring, walls, and all that kind of stuff. For this mansion, I definitely wanted to have a home theater, but I also kind of wanted to make it look and feel like almost a family room slash den. So not really the typical, I guess, what you would think of when people make like a home theater in like games, or I guess even in real life with like, the kind of movie theater type home theater chairs. I wanted it to be a little bit more comfortable. So as you can see now, I'm kind of trying to figure out how to make the televisions fit for the larger ones, because obviously I want one that fits on the whole thing. So I ended up just sizing up some of the TVs to fit better, because I could have raised the ceiling or the walls to make them higher to fit it, but honestly I just didn't want to have the ceilings be any higher because they already are pretty high, and I felt it would make the rest of the house just look too big even though it's already massive. So this kind of worked a little bit better, and I just really wanted it to look, even if it didn't really perform or work in-game as much, it was more for the build. So now I'm just doing all of the speakers being installed around the edges of the room. So I always, when I make a home theater in a house, I always am so torn with colors for the wall. I like very modern clean, so you would think naturally I would just choose those kind of like grays and kind of modern minimalistic colors, but at the same time I kind of like that cozy feeling of like the old-fashioned, like red velvet walls that theaters put in there, or like those just funky kind of colors that they put in. What do you guys think? Because for me it's kind of like I'm torn between both, but ended up I decided to just stay with the theme and the style of the house and went more completely modern and minimalistic, and chose this color instead of a really funky color like red or whatnot, just because I knew if I liked it now I would probably end up wanting to change it later, and I can always do it in a different house because I'm hoping to have many builds out. But I can say after filming all of this, I don't know if I'll build as much or as big of a house, just because it took up so much time to build this house. It's on a 60 by 60 lot, so it was just an incredible amount of time to build it. It was a lot of fun, but towards the end, like I want to say maybe 4 videos left, I was kind of getting to the point where it was like I just want to get done with it. It was starting not to become enjoyable, because I feel like once you work on a house for so long, especially if you're not actually playing it, you kind of just start to get a little bored with it. And with my schedule being so hectic and busy, it was kind of just one of those things where it was like I just need to get this one done with. So anyways, I'm now doing the I wanted to have like kind of like a little Eden bar restaurant, little kind of snack area that people can prepare like popcorn and grab drinks and all that kind of stuff. The kitchen is relatively close. It's just through the gym actually, and then through I think like the little walkway into the kitchen. But I figured in there, like if you have this big of a house, you can afford to put in a secondary kind of kitchen, or I guess technically this would be the third kitchen, including the outdoor one. So you don't have to worry about going all the way across to the other area when you're trying to watch and enjoy a movie. I was trying to make sure I picked a door that was in the style of the home, but also had like minimalistic windows or any kind of thing to shine through, because obviously in a real theater you want it to be completely dark when you're in there, which is why obviously you saw at the beginning I took out the windows. But I ended up liking that one because it did let a little sliver of light in, but I figured it was enough that it wouldn't really make too big of a difference. So now I'm trying to build a platform. It's totally different from The Sims 3 when I used to play it, so it always takes me a bit to figure out how to do these different like platforms and foundations, because there's definitely a lot more customability to this versus the old games, but it is a little bit more, I guess, trying to get used to it because it's more customizable, so you can definitely change stuff. So I'm kind of just like playing around with it to see what I like and everything. So that kind of makes it hard sometimes when you have too many options, but the benefit of this house building it too is I got to play around with the controls and learn them a lot more. So I'm a lot more confident in building, as you will probably notice as the videos go on. But I ended up deciding that I didn't want the entire thing raised, so I decided it might actually be fun to have all of like the seating on different levels and whatnot. So now I'm just kind of going through to try to figure out what kind of couches or chairs or, you know, type of seating I want to have. So in the end, I ended up choosing to do like a sectional, one of those like customizable add-on couches that you can just kind of make it as big as you want, because I figured at least then I can make it and shape it to the size and shape that I would want it to be. So it was really just coming down to choosing which one to do. And then I ended up choosing on just kind of like the most, I guess, squared off basic one, just because I didn't want it to be too busy. So now, as you can see here, I'm kind of just trying to see what it looks like and see how exactly I want to frame everything. As you all know, when you get close to edges like that, even if you are in like that override mode with the move objects on cheat, it still will try to put it onto the surface. So it's trying to get it right against the edge, like it's pushed up against it, but also so it doesn't pop up there, to have different levels. So as you can see, I'm starting to do the second level, trying to get it to match up as good as possible. But it really did make me excited the way it ended up coming out, because it just felt so cozy. It would be like a fun room to be able to, like, you know, hang out on and put on like a killer movie or a game or video games or something like that and watch it and enjoy it. And obviously I would think realistically you could probably fit a solid, I don't even know, I want to maybe like 20 or so people. I wanted a massive table for people to be able to set stuff on, but I realized that there wasn't enough space, so I decided to go with a much smaller, but I felt like still efficient amount as well. I ended up turning the couches over here just to kind of make it a little bit more closed in and cozy versus having it like in too many rows, which I felt like it came out and looked a lot better. So at this point, I was just putting down the tables, and then the bane of my existence is coming up, where I was trying to put in custom content pillows, which any of you that use custom content know can be definitely a pain, especially because so much of it, when you try to set the couch pillows down, or even on the beds, I guess, for that matter, it will not let you level it correctly on the couches and everything. So it's just so frustrating, because sometimes I'll put it down on the couch and love the way it looks, but then if I look at the couch from a different angle, it makes the pillows look like they're not even touching the couch, they're just floating in air. So that's kind of a bummer. So sometimes I will take like my still photos to get that shot with them and then just remove it after the fact. But it's just kind of a bummer that you can't raise it and lower it more than you want. It either goes too low or too high. I just wish it was completely free form where you could raise it and lower it completely. If any of you guys know how to do that, I mentioned in another video, I would definitely appreciate it if you commented down below. That would definitely be a help. I'm sure eventually I'll find it, or even on Google, but it's been more of a problem with, I guess, maybe wording it correctly. But I still feel like I haven't really seen other people be able to do it in videos too for Let's Plays or builds. So maybe it's just kind of one of those common things that nobody's figured out yet. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. Can't get it all. So I didn't have any candy jars. I put it down on my list of things to download for future builds, but I kind of found like little jar things that have random things in here that kind of look like it could be food products, just to kind of make it more cozy, and almost like if you had like a really fancy theater, you have like a whole bunch of snacks on demand, like a little concession stand. So I wanted that to look like that. And then you can see I'm kind of just putting some clutter down with some decor, computer, phone, like you're lounging around. kind of just going through here, adding some little more homey touches at this point. And I think now I'm getting ready to do artwork, which I kind of was like, well, I might as well make this one of the only 2 rooms that has a ton of color in it. So I kind of just made it I didn't want to make it look too gallery and perfect like the rest of the house. I wanted to be a little bit more creative and, you know, kind of the arts, for lack of a better word. So I kind of just put some random stuff in there just to make it kind of look more, I guess, imaginative and stuff, since that is kind of what I feel like movies and TV shows are all about, is kind of escaping your world for a different world. So just going through and adding some movie posters, like almost give you kind of a look of like what a movie theater would look like. Changing the floor up there. And now I'm doing the pillows like I said I hate to do, and of course they look great like that. But then when you go behind it, it just isn't actually sitting on there. Even those ones look like it's literally perfect, but behind it, it's not even on the couch, as you can see right there. So that was always a bummer. These ones actually work pretty good. You kind of have to get them lined up just right, but they usually will work pretty well. As you see, it tries to make it drop in. So it's kind of getting it to fit just, you know, in the right space. So those ones actually work pretty well. So I'll just have to try to just find, I guess, more pillows and just kind of test out to see what works. But yeah, at least there was something that I was able to use, so it wasn't too bad. I love those pillows with the @ symbols or the and symbols, but it's sad that I can never use it. There's the floating pillow, as you can see. Same with the throw blankets, you just can't get them on there, which kind of bums me out because obviously that would make it even more cozy to be able to have blankets cozy, but I guess I can just pretend, or maybe I can put a basket in the room and, you know, people can just use their imagination and think that there's like throws in there. I wanted to make a little bathroom, so this was pretty straightforward. However, the issue I ran into was when I went to close it off to put like a door, it wouldn't let me close it off because I guess there just wasn't enough space to walk past the kitchen and doorway, so it wanted to delete all of that. So I ended up actually, in the end, as you will see here, I ended up going through the wall and just removing parts of the walls and doing like a double wall to kind of be like a public bathrooms, how they don't have the doors now, but they have like the 2 walls, the one that kind of blocks the view, but then when you walk around that wall, there's another wall that you have to go around another turn until you get into the bathroom. So I felt like that actually worked out kind of good. And I was kind of happy that I thought of it, because as you can see right there, it deleted the entire kitchen. So I was like, nope. And then I was like, what? Because that's never happened to me before. So then I'm trying to figure it out. So this actually, I sped up quite a bit, and it was frustrating me. Then I ended up cutting out probably almost like a 5-minute period, and then finally figured it out. And I was like, okay, so I'll just do this instead. So it actually came out pretty well, and I was happy with how it came. Yeah, so as you can see, I kind of did like that. And then I thought maybe if I close it out, then I can delete it, but that still didn't work. So then I was sitting there, and then I'm like, actually, let me try one more thing. And that's when I put in the wall turning that way. So it's closed in, but it's not like completely closed in. You can see before I did that though, I tried to just stretch it and see how far I could get it, and it wouldn't go. Then I realized, hey, I could just leave it like this. So that's what we ended up doing. So it actually worked out pretty well. So, and I actually think I might use it for another bedroom, I believe, in there. So it actually worked out kind of perfect for that. So I guess actually having that error gave me a little design inspiration that I could do. So that was exciting. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all for this video. So I will wrap up. Please remember to subscribe if you enjoyed this, and I will see you in part 9. Check out my other videos. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And once again, thank you for watching Aaron Limitless. I hope you liked this video, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.